What are you doing today, Doc? Doc is making nesting bars, but we had our first egg today from our new girls. So the old girls have been doing actually an excellent job laying. Of course, I got two hens. I mean, two roosters, which I wasn't supposed to get. And last week I said I expect any day to see an egg. And I was out here just sitting with the girls, messing with them. And I heard the egg laying cackle. If you've ever heard it, it's just kind of like a high pitch kind of wah, wah, wah. And it's just that announcement that she's laid an egg. And all the roosters and all the chickens came running over here. We're looking inside. I came in, I said, that's got to be an egg. And sure enough, we have our first egg. And usually your first eggs, look at her. She's looking for it. That's the one that laid it. Either she did it, and one of the speckles, I call them, one of the speckles came out of there after she laid, so making that noise. And let me show you. Hi, Mr. Rooster. Are you proud of your girls? Are you proud of your girls for laying an egg? I would think so. There's Snow White. Hi, Snow White. Hi, honey. There's the other rooster. She was in there. I think she's confused, but look at this. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? They call these fairy eggs sometimes because the first eggs are usually really small. Honey, you did a great job, baby. You did a great job. I'm really proud of you. Yes, I am. Very proud of you. That is so cool. It's so cool when they first start laying their eggs. We got up to, we're up to about 22 eggs a day on the other girls. I have 27 girls over there. They just went through molting, so they're going to be down a bit. They're down to about 16 to 18. And they may probably get up to about 24. And so I've got 15 hens, so I'll have another probably 12, another dozen eggs. And since I got roosters, I may actually get a incubator and actually hatch some. That is so cute, though. Good job, baby. I am really, really proud of you, honey. Good job. Okay, so let's talk about the perch bars and why I use this. I always try and replicate nature as much as possible when it comes to my chickens. I always try and look at chickens in the wild. If you go someplace like Puerto Rico or Bermuda, they've got wild chickens running everywhere, all over the place. And where do the chickens go at night? Chickens roost up in the trees. They'll go up in a tree. See that big old pecan tree over there? Man, that would be a perfect chicken perch. Just like wild turkeys. If you're a turkey hunter, you'll know that the turkeys roost up in the trees. And they try and find a branch that fits their foot well. And that's where they'll actually sleep. Matter of fact, I caught Snow White, my little white chicken up there, sleeping yesterday on one of my perches. But yeah, you're going to see these saplings that I use. I have a 40-acre property and I have thousands of these saplings all over the place. It's natural. And that's what the chickens, I always like to use that. If you don't have saplings on your property, maybe just have a backyard, when you're driving around, if you see an area that has saplings, go knock on a door and say, hey, I've got chickens and you've got some saplings over there. Do you mind if I cut down like a dozen of them and take them home? More than likely, I'd say 90% of the people will say, sure, go ahead and take them because they're just scrap trees. But these are natural and it's such a nice way. The chickens absolutely love them. Now, I try and stay away from square lumber. I don't think the chickens, it just doesn't fit their foot well. If you look at a claw, it's kind of a round grip and it's very comfortable. So I stay away from square. And then a lot of people use like round dowels and tie rope around it. The problem with that is chickens are going to poo on them. Chickens are going to get poo all over these bars. So maybe once a year you might want to replace them. I just use a long screw up in my chicken houses where they sleep at night. They're up high because chickens want to go up high, and they'll always be on the top they'll always be on the top bars. But you just put one long screw and hold it in there, and then once a year if I want, I can go in and replace them. They're pretty easy, but I've got thousands of them here. It's just really nice. It's natural. Now, the other thing I'm going to do, I just ordered 2 deer feeders. So I have these deer feeders. We have feed stations all over this property for the wildlife and the deer. I'm going to go in the new natural areas. I'm actually going to buy 2 deer feeders, bring them down lower, and I'm going to mix up their scratch grains or black fly larvae and some other things and put it, and I'm going to schedule it to go off every morning like at 9 a.m. I'm going to have it go up and automatically feed them. In the summertime, I'll hook up my automatic watering system, so I'll have the automatic feed system. So basically, I just have to go up and collect eggs. It's going to be kind of cool. So hit subscribe, and I'll put that video when those feeders come in this week. I'll put up a video on it, and should be pretty cool. Let's go make some roosting bars. Welcome to chicken perch heaven. All these saplings have a rough bark, and you can get them anywhere from 3/4 of an inch all the way up to like 2.5 inches, and they make the perfect chicken perches. It's what I use in all my houses over here. Today I'm going to make some sort of jungle gym bars on the new outside area that we opened up for the chickens. They just like to perch. Chickens like to perch. And I'm testing out the new electric ego I've got. And the reason why we decided to go with this ego is I watched several reviews online where they were compared like 7 different models, and this constantly scored like number 2. And because we've got so many ego products, we got mowers, I got blowers, I have like 4 or 5 batteries, so I didn't have to order. I just ordered the actual saw. This is, I believe, the 18-inch. And it got great reviews. It does have, one thing that's kind of cool about it is when you push this button here, I don't know if you can see it or not, it does have a light. Different levels, which is kind of cool if you ever need to go out at night. I've never seen that on a chainsaw before. And yeah. And the replacement blades, I ordered 2 replacement blades, and they're chains. And they're cheap. They're like 12 bucks a piece. So if you don't feel like sharpening, you just replace the blade every few months. I don't think I'd go out. I've got multiple gas chainsaws, and I don't think I'd go out and tackle big trees with this thing. But for, coming out for something like this or storm damage, you have a couple small trees down, I think it's perfect. So anyways, let me make some. And the other thing I use is I use my DeWalt 16 gauge nail gun, and that's how I assemble these things. And I forgot my machete because I will need to trim up the stuff, so I gotta get my machete. When you want to tighten this chain, what's nice about it, chain is loose. Just tighten it up and chain is tight. I use, instead of using the bar oil, I use WD-40 dry lube. If you don't have this, get this product. Use it on your circular saws, your skill saws, anything that gets sawdust around it, and I use it on this. Now you can't go out and cut for an hour. You got to apply this every so often, but this dries and leaves a coat of Teflon on it, and that way normal bar chain oil makes a whole mess in here. This doesn't. To cut. All right, so I'm looking for a tree that's about 1.5 inches in diameter. That's the perfect sort of claw size. So as an example, this tree is like 2 1/4, 2 1/2. That's too large. That's too large, and there's some nice ones right in here. But I mean, I literally have hundreds of thousands of these saplings in here, and they're just, look at that. Right in there is just absolutely perfect for what I'm talking about. Perfectly straight, nice rough bark, about 1 1/4, 1.5 inches. That's perfect in there. How do I get this out of here without ruining my camera? And you'll want to wear safety glasses, not necessarily for the chainsaw, but for all these branches that'll hit you in the face. It's like butter. Man, that thing cuts amazing. there she goes. Now, these can't be too thick, otherwise you won't shoot into them. I'm afraid some of these are too thick. I always tell my guys, be careful with that machete, be careful with that machete. I sharpened this with an angle grinder. This is the badass machete. Look at that handle. Love that thing. And of course, I cut myself. It's sharp. Okay. That's all done. Now let's go. You know, and I would say probably keep the bars 6 to 8 inches apart maximum. They'll hop up and they'll sort of hop and climb and hop and climb. And we'll put this in their new outside run. This is for, I'll probably put this in the old girls run and then make the new girls one too. All right. Oh, one's already up on it. What I plan to do is I plan to make 2 big ones out here in the middle. Make sort of like a triangle, I guess you'd call it, sort of a jungle gym out here for both of them. We came out here, we stole half our vegetable garden out here and we gave it to the girls as an additional outside run to be more free range, and they absolutely love it. They have destroyed this place. They've only been out here a few days, and all this looked like this. Now is basically, I've eaten all the clover. They're just digging like crazy. I just threw out a handful of black fly larvae for them. But I want to put a feeder in here and a feeder in here, and every day it'll go off automatically. Now these are the new girls. Hi girls. Oh, look at you. Snow White, you flew. That was great. I put that little set of nesting bars over there. I want to build a big set in here. But the roosters have a tendency just to nag these girls. I mean, they'll chase them and hump them, chase them and hump them. And if you have perching bars inside here, they actually have a place to get up on and get away from them. So it is kind of a nice break. Plus, they always like to hang out on them. In the summertime, not so much. In the summertime, they want shade. And so we actually put in some shade areas out here. We have one over here, but they have a ton of shade. And I put high power fans inside their coops. But let me show you the nesting bars, the roosting bars, before they come walking back in here. I'm also checking to see if I got any more eggs too. I don't think I do yet. So this is their inside house where they sleep at night. Automatic doors, a little walk-way up. And then you can see the bars up there. That's what they sleep on. So they climb all the way up, they climb all the way up, and they get up here, and every single one of them, you'll learn chickens want to be as high as possible. They'll always go to the top, always go to the top. But this is completely secure. Even if a predator were to break into here, that predator would have to have a tool belt and a set of DeWalt tools to get inside that thing on both houses. So it works out nice. Build them a little ramp. Same thing. I use these natural bars so they can get up in here at night. But you can see I built one a while back like this right here, and they're up here all the time. Look at them. See them on there now? They're up there right now. They just love to perch. They just love to perch. Hey girls, you guys want some treats? Let me give them some treats. I'll just scatter out. I got a mix of, I did a video on this. This is a little bit of scratch grain black fly larva, and I put a little olive oil on mine. And they seem to really like it. Watch out, Mr. Rooster. So anyways, make some natural perching bars, roosting bars. They're fantastic. The chickens absolutely love them. And maybe you can find a spot somewhere that's got an endless supply like I have around here, and you just ask the person. Trust me, you can have as many as you want. That's it. Duck.